one of the scorers for the Patriots as the 5A Lower State Championship game hosted at Patriot Field at Bagwell Stadium. Welcome to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. I'm the voice of the Patriots, Richard Todd, here with Athletic Director and Head Varsity Football Coach Steve LaPrade. The Patriots take the 5A Lower State Championship. How did it happen against Summerville? Well, we're going to go right to the video and let you take a look at a game which had a crowd that was a huge crowd, one of the biggest crowds in years. Great atmosphere, arch rival, birth in the state championship on the line. Coach, let's just dive right into the first quarter because the defense set the tone. Defense would only give up 10 points the whole game, forced an early timeout from Summerville. Summerville got a 59-yard punt that fortunately rolled into the end zone there in the first quarter. And then the first drive of the first half for the Patriots was a solid, long drive that really showed the offensive line, the running game, just methodical down the field.
It was, I thought, I thought we played well all night, but, that kind of showed. I mean, they knew we were going to run the ball. I'm sure they'd practiced to stop the run, and we still were able to run the ball. So that makes me, it makes me feel good that, a team as good as Summerville knows you're going to run it and are trying to defend the run. We're still able to run the football. Yeah,
the big play on that was a nice screen pass call for Davion Brown that really picked up some ground. And then Ryan Campbell comes in the game, and then the slippery guy that he is, and quick 6-yard touchdown run, make it 7-0 Patriots.
Yeah, that was good. We kind of wanted to get ahead. I knew it was going to be a tough ball game. It's hard to beat anybody. It's decent twice, and I knew it was going to be a tough game the whole time. And it was nice to get the first score in. Obviously, the lead didn't last for long, but it was nice to get that first one in.
Well, and chewing up half the quarter as well on that long drive as well. I mean, that's great ball possession.
I thought the whole game went quick. They ran the ball a lot too, and so did we, and it wasn't a whole lot. I don't know how many possessions, honestly, that we got, but it didn't seem like we got more than 4 or 5 possessions the whole first half.
Well, and the other thing was the defense. The defense first shutting out Summerville in that first quarter, and you can call out the names we've been saying it all year: Jaden Acevedo, Peyton McMichael, DeAndre Jones, Aaron Lawrence, Connor Morgan, Bryce Carpenter. Those guys really played a good game.
They did. I thought all of them did. You left some guys out. DePass played good. Jalen White played good back in the back. Brandon played great at corner. Those guys. Cam played well at defensive end. We had some guys come in off the bench. We've been solid on defense all year long. And we're kind of young too. So it's good to see those guys play really hard. I mean, Summerville's huge up front. And they got 2 great running backs, got a good quarterback, and the receivers are really, really talented. So I thought we did a good job. They got 1 long ball on us all night. I thought we did a good job back in the back. Probably the best game we played in the secondary, and that was good to see that tonight.
Yeah, Summerville brought a crowd for sure, and you were talking about Marquez Spells and Trey Green running the ball for Summerville, but it was 7-0 Patriots after the end of the first quarter of the 5A Lower State Championship. Second quarter action coming up as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
We took our signature sandwich and cranked it up to 11. With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club, remixed by Zaxby's.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. The Patriots lead the Summerville Green Wave 7-0 in the 5A Lower State Championship. When we go to the second quarter, and Coach, 4th down Summerville, they're kind of right there at midfield. They go for a fake punt. They put a fake field goal on us in the game back at the end of the regular season. You guys are ready for that one.
Yeah, we were. The first time they punted, we left our defense in, and the second time, which doesn't give us the ability to return a punt very far, so which ended up later on in the game being huge. But so this time, second time they punted, we put our punt return in. They tried a fake. We'd worked on a bunch of fakes. They did a fake on us last year or the year before. So we had practiced fakes on about every specialty team. They tried, and we were determined that they weren't going to get anything tonight, and they didn't. So I thought we did a really good job on the specialty teams. We had some injuries, some key injuries last week that really, really affected our specialty teams. This team's been so resilient. I can't tell you all the tragedies and injuries and everything else we've overcome. It's been a crazy year, and these guys find a way to win, man.
Yeah, and they just kept plugging forward, and then you had the only turnover of the game. A high snap, a fumbled snap, looked like Zoltan and maybe Davion went for it at the same time, and that turned the ball over. Fortunately, the defense stepped up to stop Summerville right there. When Fort Dorchester got the ball back, couldn't do too much with it, and then you had really a series of events. Christian Wilson in there punting. We talked about Trey Ryan, who was the punter, the returner, the holder for field goals and extra points. That 9-yard punt gave them a very short field, and the hit on that 36-yard pass deep in the red zone.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it really hurt, losing Trey, obviously, because like you said, Trey punted for us, which he's always a threat to run the ball or pass the ball back there. He also was our punt returner. So he also held on all of our field goals and extra points, and he was, if not one of our best wide receivers. So once again, these guys find a way.
Next man up.
They step up. It's really hard sometimes. That's easy to say. Everybody wants to use that term, but it's not that easy. Our center got injured a little bit tonight. He was out for the rest of the game. He got injured, first quarter, I guess. So some of the snaps, and we were having some struggles there, and got that worked out. But it's, man, what a resilient bunch. I mean, it's crazy. I know they went on and scored there. Obviously the bad punt gave them good field position. And I think they got really the only long pass they really got on us tonight.
Yeah, that was a 36-yarder. They got down there. There was what looked like it could have been a fumble and an early whistle maybe down there near the goal line.
We didn't get too many calls tonight, it seemed like. That one I thought was a fumble. We came up the ball, and they whistled after we were running, so I didn't understand that. And then, of course, later on, the punt, I thought they fumbled the punt. It hit off his foot, and I'll be daggone if they didn't call a penalty on us and give them the ball. So we didn't get a whole lot of breaks tonight, and once again, I think that's why this victory was so important. Summerville's a good team. They're well coached, got great athletes, and we found a way. We overcame about everything that you could overcome tonight, and still found a way to win.
Well, you mentioned just so many things you overcome throughout the season, and we could run down a whole list. But Summerville got that 3-yard touchdown run to tie it up at 7-7. And just to take a second to talk about Trey Ryan, because Trey's a senior. He was the team captain. He is a solid individual. And I know that was a tough loss that the team had to weather last week and then got ready for this week.
Yeah, it was tough, man. I mean, he means so much to our team. I mean, he's a leader. I had some guys last week at halftime with tears in their eyes because he was hurt, So, and we knew it was we knew it was bad. I knew as soon as he came off, hold his arm like that, I knew it was bad, So he'll definitely be missed. He's one of the few guys I've ever let come on the sideline that was hurt, because he's, I've got, I guess one thing I learned from Coach McKissick is not to dress people that are hurt out. They don't mean to, but they're a distraction for the other players. He's not a distraction in any way. He's like another little coach. So he hadn't missed, I think he missed the practice the day he got operated on, and he hasn't missed anything.
Well, it's a tough loss. He's a great guy, and hard to have his career here at Fort Dorchester in that way. But it continues on to the state championship. But in the second quarter, Zoltan had an amazing scramble where I don't know how he escaped from the pass rush of the Green Wave. And in the end, Fort Dorchester had to punt, and there was a punt interference call, a personal foul called against the Patriots on that punt return.
Yeah.
And that 15-yard penalty gave Summerville a chance right there at midfield near the end of the first half. I was surprised that Summerville, they left the timeout on the board. They were at midfield thinking that Fort Dorchester was getting the ball to start the second half, that they maybe take a shot at it, but both teams were willing to let the clock run out and end the first half tied at 7 apiece.
Well, that's why you're not a coach. Because last time we played them, it was 10-7, end of the first half. They try to throw the ball. We pick it and go up 17-7. Ian Rafferty, that was in his head. He was not going to do that. He's not going to take a chance to throw that ball again. So I knew what he was doing. I knew why he let the clock run out. And I'm sure a lot of their fans, what's he doing? What's he doing? Well, that's the same ones that were going, I can't believe he threw it last time they played us. But I knew what he was doing. So he was happy taking going in at half 7-7. He felt like that was a victory for him. So smart coaching. It's not dumb. I understood why he was doing it. I'm glad he was doing it. But I understand he wasn't going to make that mistake again.
Well, that gives you a little window into the mentality of both coaches right there going into halftime. 7-7 tie game, 5A lower state championship, a berth in the state championship on the line. We'll get to the second half coming up as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
We took our signature sandwich and cranked it up to 11. With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club, remixed by Zaxby's.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show, the 5A Lower State Championship. Fort Dorchester hosting the Summerville Green Wave. It is tied up at 7 apiece. And Coach, you see the energy in the locker room at halftime, the determination for the players. What's the message to the team with this game tied there going into the third quarter?
Well, these guys, they were kind of a little bit down in a way. When you just beat people 30, 40, 50 points every time. You get in a 7-7 or 10-7 game or whatever, and they got that look on their face, and I had to explain to them that, hey, it's, this way it's supposed to be. You're going to the state championship. It's supposed to be a tight game. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I just explained to them that we had to play hard. We had to fight and make sure we played harder than they did this half. And we made a few little adjustments here and there that was giving us some problems, which I thought our coaching staff always does a great job with that at halftime, and our kids are able to change some things up. And we usually, we usually win second halves. We usually do. Our coaching staff does a great job at halftime, and then it was really just going out there. Somebody I think. If you know anything about Jack Ratcliffe, obviously he's the coach we lost this year. Jack loved, whether it was baseball or football, playoffs or everything. That's, he loved games and he loved playoffs. And so somebody put a picture up of Jack, and old Jack, he brought us home second half.
That's some of that adversity that you were referring to earlier.
He did, yep.
Amazing amount of stuff that the Patriots have been through this year. And to start the second half, it was the same thing with the start of the first half. A long drive, Darius Balaam with some receptions from Zoltan, a little change up there. You stalled out in the red zone, but you got a 30-yard field goal from Christian Wilson after what was basically a 90-yard drive starting on your own 10-yard line to take a 10-7 lead. And people don't even, once again, Trey's missed. He's taken every snap and held for us for 2 years. So who do we put in? A ninth grader, Banks Wickersham. He comes in, worked his butt off all week, boom, did a great job, got it up, and made field goal. So once again, it's, you preach to these guys all the time. One of my messages this week is, somebody gets hurt, you guys use 2s and 3s, y'all don't get all the reps. So now you got to go in the game without getting any reps. I said, y'all really got to pay attention. You never know. All of you are sprained ankle away. And so, that happened. That happened tonight, in a couple different positions. And, we had the next guy had to come up and do the job, and they did. Yeah, it shows you the depth of the Patriots. And when you had that 10-7 lead, the kickoff set up a short field. They got good field position on the 41-yard line as opposed to kicking it deep, pooching it. And then you had Summerville on a drive with a mixture of run and pass. They got down into the red zone as well. And again, your defense steps up, holds them. A 25-yard field goal for the Green Wave ties it up at 10 apiece.
10 apiece, yep. So it was still a ball game. I didn't feel it was great having 10-7, but that I knew 10 wasn't going to win it.
How aware are you of the atmosphere at the stadium? I know you're so focused on the game, what a crowd tonight.
Yeah, it was great. Sometimes I've been upset this year with our crowd, and I told my wife a few times, sometimes, golly, I don't know if our our community deserves this football team, and it was good tonight. They came out. A lot of old guys were back. Summerville obviously showed up for their team. And I want to tell you, I thought Coach Rafferty and his staff have done a great job this year. I know Summerville's had some down years here in the last few years, and they should be proud. I know they're upset right now they didn't win, but they should be proud of their program. I think their coaching staff and their players played really hard this year, and they went from last year. They may have had a losing season last year, and to come back and play, to have a chance to go to state championship, that's quite a turnaround. So I know Ian's upset right now, and all the staff's upset, and I guess once you push back the table here in a couple days, he should be really proud of what he did.
Yeah, Summerville really put out a scrappy effort tonight.
They did.
And it was really one of the biggest Fort Dorchester-Summerville games in many, many years for what was on the line and for the size of the crowd. And it was 10-10 going into the fourth quarter to decide who's going to win the 5A Lower State Championship. The fourth quarter and a look at the state championship coming up as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
We took our signature sandwich and cranked it up to 11. With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club, remixed by Zaxby's.
And welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. The 5A Lower State Championship is tied up at 10 apiece in the fourth quarter. Patriots hosting the arch rival Summerville Green Wave. Coach, you start out the first play of the fourth quarter. Davion Brown with a really nice 25-yard run. Davion and Zion both had a good game, but Davion is just a tough guy to bring down, and Zion as well. They seem to never get taken down by the first guy.
Davion had another over 100-yard game. He's creeping up. He's over 2,500. He's a mess. I mean, he is a really, 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 really good running back.
Well, and then
he's a special young man too. Yeah.
After that 25-yard run, Zoltan had some passes. He was under a lot of pressure throughout the night. He really didn't have as much time to throw as he had in the past. The offensive line, though, did a great job in trying in run blocking and trying to pass protect. There was a costly illegal procedure penalty there that moved the ball back, and he had to turn the ball over and down to Summerville. In fact, when you look at the game as a whole tonight, there were a few penalties that popped up in inopportune times, and Lord knows that in a game like this, every one of those things are magnified.
They were. I didn't think we had any dumb penalties, any unsportsmanlike stuff.
Right.
It was just, we didn't seem to get a lot of calls either way. It was a tough night. I mean, They didn't make it any easier for us by any means. We had to scrap and fight for everything we got.
So after the Patriots turned it over in downs again, the defense stopping Summerville from moving the ball and forcing a punt.
Yep.
Then came one of the plays of the game. Of course, Trey Ryan is normally your punt returner. That you chose number 12, Cam Crummy, to be the punt returner for this game. And that paid off big time with a 69-yard punt return to get the ball down there for 1st and goal.
I mean, once again, we keep saying next guy up. Well, you feel like you're going to run out at some point, but, to think that, Cam Crummy really has got as much to do with us winning this game as anybody. And, that's what it's all about. You preach it and you talk about it as coaches, and, and sometimes it's just what you say. Well, one gets hurt, next one up. Well, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, So he came in, a couple days work back there, and I mean, he's a senior. He's been in our program, I guess, since 8th grade. So it was great to see him come in. He took Trey's spot at receiver too. So him and DeAndre Ham have kind of had to fill in and figure that thing out. So. It was nice. We started throwing it a little bit. I thought we got them off. We were running. So we got them on the edge a little bit, and I thought Darius Balaam came up with a couple big catches. Multi-Snyder ended up coming up with the catch. But, I thought we did a really good job. I thought Zoltan probably may have had the best game he's had all year. I told him the other day, I said, you're always going to be remembered as a quarterback only if you take your team to the championship. I said, it doesn't matter if it's NFL, college, or high school. And so, he did. He took him on his back this week. He did. He put him on his back, and he carried him across the finish line, and I was really proud. He needed that. I was glad to see him do that. I know he can do it, and it was good to see him do that. He scrambled and really made some, I don't know if you remember, it was a third down. It was like 3rd and 11, I believe, and he scrambled, and just put the ball right. I mean, you couldn't have, if you'd have shot a gun, it couldn't have been a better shot.
So, Coach, when you look at the offensive performance and the defensive performance, I mean, this was a true team victory. I mean, trying to pick one player for offense, one player for defense, this was a total team victory with a lot of players stepping up.
I wouldn't even think about picking somebody this week. It would be unfair to way too many people. And I'm not talking about just the starters. There's so much goes into making this thing work. I mean, we got guys that run scout team. We got guys that, it's amazing. I mean, it's the amount of work that goes into performing and doing this. It's amazing, from all the crew, from our JV team to the B team coaches that come out here on Friday. It's quite a system. And a lot of people, and this was a big team win. I mean, this is all about, all the guys on defense, all the guys on offense, all the specialty teams. This is a team victory, and they all are going to the state championship. They all deserve it. They've all overcome so many things this year. It's amazing.
After Cam Crummy gets that 69-yard punt return, Davion Brown would poke it in for 6 yards to give the Patriots a 17-10 lead. There's still 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. A lot of time. Defense steps up again and gets the ball back to the Patriot offense. The offense gets down to around midfield, and it's 4th down. And probably the biggest penalty of the game is you come out, it was like 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and you draw Summerville offsides to get that first down to run some more clock.
Yeah, that was huge. We kind of snookered them a little bit. We took a timeout. And, they probably thought we were going to punt, and we would have eventually. But we let the clock run down. We were trying to do some clock management at that point. So burned some time off, so we ended up letting it run down to 0, took a timeout. Got back in there. Instead of throwing the punt team on there, I said, shoot, let's give it a rip. So we sent the offense on there. They thought we were going for it. We long counted them, and they jumped offside. So once again, when things work, you're a great coach, and when things don't work, you're a goat. So tonight, a couple times, I was a great coach. I guess the goat. Other nights I've been a goat, but I guess not tonight.
And that leads us right into what happened after getting that offside call and another set of downs. You get to 3rd down and 8 at the 46-yard line. And on that 3rd down call, you guys throw a 46-yard touchdown pass. Great strike from Zoltan. Snyder catches it. That is a gutsy call at midfield on 3rd and 8 with about 3 minutes to go in the game, and that makes it 24-10 Patriots, which would end up being the final score.
There are things that you remember coaching for a long time. That silence on the headset of, are we going to go, are we going to run it and punt it? Are we going to take a shot? Both of those things were discussed.
Ultimately, that's your call, right?
Within that 25-second window. And then it was like, should we take a shot? Should we take a shot? Should we take a shot? I felt like the guy that shot John F. Kennedy. I was like, okay, let's take a shot. And then they go, and I go, who are we going after? And when they said number 3 for Summerville, I went, oh my God. I mean, by far the best athlete they have. But, the line protected. The quarterback put the ball on the money. Snyder beat the best player that Summerville has in a very tough situation. That call was about, my son Brent is, let's take a shot, let's take a shot, let's take a shot. Josh Smith up top, he kind of went silent. He's like, So gosh, when I saw him catch that ball. At first when it left, I said, oh, he's thrown it out of bounds. But man, it was dead on the money. You know, Zoltan had such a good night. You know, and he's capable of that, man. He is a stud. So when he caught that ball, you know, like I said, calls like that make you a great coach, or they make you horses behind. So this time I escaped the horses behind and ended up being a good coach. But that was wasn't just one person. That was not just me making the call. That was some serious deliberation going on in a very short amount of time, and then silence went over the headset. So, but it worked. God, did it work.
And that was one of the loudest roars we've had here at Bagwell Stadium in many, many years. Summerville would move the ball down the field near the end of the fourth quarter and got down in the red zone but didn't score. 24-10 the final score. And for the second time in program history, you are lower state champions going back to 2015. The last time, this is the second time in the state championship. And you're going to have a familiar foe in a team named Dutch Fork.
Yep. I mean, we had a throwdown last year here. We ended up losing, I think, by a touchdown, but it was a throwdown. I told our guys weeks ago that, you know, because of the schedule they played and the schedule we played, I mean, you know, you hate to say the two best. I just thought, you know, we were the two best teams in 5A. So, you know, I don't know that. I don't know who the best is. I enjoy. Coach Knox has got the best of me. I don't think I've whipped him but 1 or 2 times. But he's a good ball coach. They got a good team. They play hard like us. They expect to win like us. So when two teams like that meet, it's always fun. It'll be fun. I look forward to it. I look forward to the challenge. It'll be good. They got a good group. I'm sure they haven't forgot. You know, the bunch. I think, you know, I didn't really want to say it. One of the reporters yesterday interviewed me, and he said, you know, I think y'all had as much to do with Gaffney winning last year as anybody. And said, man, when Dutch Fork left here last year, they were beat to pieces. And we did. We were very physical last year. We're a physical team. They are too. You know, we hurt I know the Jarvis kid. He's a great running back. It's really going to be fun watching Davion and Jarvis. They can tote the mail. So it'll be fun. They're both really good running backs, and it'll be fun to watch. You know, I know we heard him last year. I think we heard the quarterback. We heard a bunch of their guys last year. We were, you know, and we still play a physical brand of football. So it'll be hopefully it'll be an exciting game. We're planning on it being that, and hopefully we can go up there. You know, we play. It's a 12 o'clock game. I think TV time is 12:06. It's at Benedict College, their stadium. So it'll be. We'll obviously leave in the morning. I don't know exactly. I haven't done the details yet. So. But we'll pull out of here in the morning, try to get up there probably 10:30. So it's exciting. It's always good to be in the state championship, no matter what sport it is. So hopefully we can, you know, got a little time, got an extra day this week because we play on Saturday. So, you know, we should be ready for that. We played 2 other Saturdays too this year. So I think all the stuff we did, we've talked about it all year long. I think it does come into effect. I do. I mean, I really feel if we hadn't played all these really, really tough teams early, I don't think our kids could have held it together like they have.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the second lower state championship in program history, and one more game. State championship. Again, Benedict College in Columbia, 12:06 kickoff. So get there for the noon kickoff for the 5A state championship matchup against Dutch Fork, a familiar foe. Many people picking this as the matchup at the beginning of the season, but a lot of effort goes into getting to where we are right now, playing in December. Stay in touch with the Fort Dorchester social media channels and the athletic website, so make sure you get all the details as the itinerary is set and the state championship is set. The Patriots are the 5A lower state champs, and they'll play Dutch Fork on Saturday, December the 3rd. We thank you for all your support throughout the season. See you at the state championship game, and thanks for watching this edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show.